Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Arnesia and today's video is going to be about why I decided to quit my corporate 9-to-5 job. This video is going to be broken down into 4 different parts. First, my background, why I decided to quit, what I would do differently, and what's next for me. If you see me looking over a little bit, it's because I wrote some notes down so that I can stay on track, because sometimes when the camera's on, I can be a little bit of a yapper. But first, I wanted to get into my background. So I have been working in human resources for a little over 5 years, and my most recent job was a recruiting coordinator in the tech industry. I was in that position for 3 years. And before that, I was also a recruiting coordinator, so I came into the role with a bit of experience already. And at my previous company, I was there for 3 years, but honestly, it felt like I was there for 7. And those 3 years were definitely a roller coaster. There were some good times, and then there were also some not so good times. But when the times were not so good, they were really not so good. I did have previous RC experience, and my training at this company wasn't as long as other new people's training would have been. So once my training was over, I immediately started to have to cover for people who were out of office. And honestly, I should have known then that things were just gonna go downhill, but that's neither here nor there. So fast forward, honestly, the job was really cool. I did get a lot of exposure into different projects and just high priority, confidential type things. And I was also given the opportunity to lead my own team. It sounds all good, right? Like getting promoted, you're given this opportunity to work on these types of projects that you see other people aren't given the exposure to, and you get promoted into a management position as a young Black woman. Everything sounds good. I mean, it was for a little bit, but to be honest, I was not 100% happy and I did not feel fulfilled. I really did mask all of this unhappiness very well, because don't get me wrong, I was grateful and sometimes I was happy because this was my first time getting promoted into a management position, and you know, the fact that I did it so quickly, I was proud of myself, but it came with some cons. At this point in my career, I was just so stressed out, and I felt like whenever I needed help, I wasn't given it. But when other people needed help, I was that go-to person. And to be the go-to person for so many people, I mean, people that's not even on your team, it really does get exhausting, especially when you feel like you really don't have people to lean on, but you're always that person that other people lean on. I found myself working too much, honestly. Constantly checking Slack, constantly checking emails. I was always in meetings, and it honestly got to the point where it was so hard to juggle it all. Because I was technically doing multiple jobs under the umbrella of one, and there was just no job description for me. There were also some personal things that were going on during this time that was just stressing me out too. And so I was stressed at work, and then outside of work, I was stressed as well. My life was literally me working, crying, overthinking, going to sleep, and repeat. Like, I just did not have a break from the stress whatsoever. All of this got so bad to the point where I had to take a personal leave for an entire month. So I was not working for 1 month due to my stress and mental health. During this personal leave, I did spend this time reflecting, going to therapy, and just getting my mind right. But I was also going through a breakup and having to find somewhere new to live. But honestly, this 1 month off, it honestly helps me out so much. And I was ready to return back to work, and I felt rejuvenated and refreshed. But once I returned, it was a little awkward, I'm not gonna lie. After the first 2 weeks or so, the awkwardness kind of went away and things were just smooth sailing from there. I didn't have Slack on my phone. I didn't have my work emails on my phone either. So I felt like I was getting into a routine of a little bit of work-life balance, until there was a comment made to me about how I didn't respond to a Slack message that was sent after hours. And it honestly just gave me anxiety about having to be available all of the time and making sure that I respond to my Slack messages quickly, no matter what time it was. So I ended up downloading Slack and my work emails on my phone again. Granted, my response wasn't always needed to these messages that I would receive after hours, but again, in the type of projects and the type of work that I was doing, I was partnering with a lot of senior leaders, so they would reach out to me even though they knew what time it was for me. So it was a little hard for me to really hone in on those boundaries that I had thought that I set for myself, just because of the hierarchy. I'm not going to lie, it's hard to tell someone who is like 5-6 levels above you, no, I'll get back to you later. So before I get on to the next section, which is why I actually decided to quit, I did want to say that as a recruiting coordinator, my specific role was a little bit different than a normal recruiting coordinator. I was given different types of exposure into things. I honestly, like I said, I didn't really have a job title. So I don't think that I was a recruiting coordinator, to be honest. I was definitely something else. What that job title was, I have no idea. But I don't want to scare anyone away from being a recruiting coordinator, because I still highly recommend you going into that role. And I did enjoy it sometimes, but honestly, I just had a different experience. So please don't have this video steer you away from being an RC. So yeah, let's get into the next section on why I decided to quit. Fast forward to the week of my resignation. I did not wake up this week or that day that I quit going in thinking that I was going to quit. I'm just gonna be honest, I did not plan to quit when I did. But the week that it happened, I was working on this super high priority project that had an unrealistic deadline, and I really did not have any information on this except just a little bit, but it just sounded like things were changing and no one was really on the same page and knew what was going on. But it was up to me to execute on this project, and I just did not feel like I really had the support that I needed. To be transparent, there was also another comment made about this project, and it was, let's see what she can do with this. And I just felt like I was given this project not because I had a unique skill set or I would be a good addition to the project team, but I honestly felt like they were trying to push me out in a way because they knew that this was very unrealistic, and they knew that I would try my best to work on it, but they wanted to overwhelm me. Now, I don't know if that was the case, but that's just kind of how I took that comment on, let's see what she can do with it. And then no one was really truly helping me in the field. So when I was given this project, I did what I needed to do. I got the project done and I submitted it before the deadline. So let's not get that misconstrued. If I'm given a project, I'm gonna get it done no matter what. That's just my type of work ethic. But once I submitted that project, I just started to get long Slack messages about what needs to be changed and all of this because the entire scope of the project needed to change. Now, mind you, I'm working on this project, but I still have my regular day-to-day duties that I'm doing. And just imagine getting these super long Slack messages back to back telling you that you need to do this, you need to change this, you need to do this, X, Y, and Z. This is what they want to change it to. This is all of that. Now, this person who was sending me all of these messages was supposed to be the person who was helping me on this project. Now, does that sound like helping on the project? No, it sounds like telling me what to do. And this person was not really helping me in a way that I needed. And I felt like they knew that. And so it honestly put me in a position where I just felt like I was about to have a panic attack. I did not respond to these Slack messages when I felt like I was about to have a panic attack. I just walked away from my desk for a little bit and I just broke down into tears. I was so overwhelmed by this because I had already spent so much time after hours, because I found out about this project probably midday and then it was due the next morning. And this type of project, it was not something that was super quick. Like, I had to miss meetings, I had to block off my calendar, I had to reschedule things, all of that to work on this, just for all of my work and stress that I went to previously to not even count, not even matter, because they're changing changing the entire thing. And this person is not saying, I'll take this section if you want to do this one and that. It's, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to change this, you need to change that. And that's what it is. So and mind you, this person was not even my manager. So it was just so overwhelming. I was crying and I called my mom. I was crying and I just told her, I can't do this anymore. Like, I have to quit. I have talked to my mom about this situation for probably over a year before I actually decided to quit. So she was well aware of everything that was going on, but she knew that I was so afraid. She knew that I was afraid, and she always tried to tell me, it's going to be okay. You have the support that you need, all of these things. But this day specifically, I just had to call and tell her, and I just really needed her to tell me that it's going to be okay. And like, just give me validation that yes, you can quit. So once I heard my mom say, you need to do what's best for you, it's okay, got off the phone with her and I immediately started to pray. I immediately started to pray to God, like, watch over me as I make this decision, and here we go. So I still haven't responded to the person that was telling me I need to change everything. So I messaged my manager and I basically was saying, I'm gonna set up some time, blah, blah, blah. I get on the Zoom and I just tell her I will be submitting my resignation and I'll send over the letter to you shortly. Yeah, I did not plan on quitting. I didn't even have my resignation letter typed up or prepped, anything like that. So after I told my manager what was going on and my decision, I worked on my resignation letter. I just Googled something and just tweaked it to, my personal wording and stuff like that. And then I just sent it over to her. Y'all, this was really hard for me because 3 years at a company is a long time. And, I've seen the company grow in so many different ways, and I've really had an impact on that growth. So to have to step away from something that you have really invested a lot of your energy, time in, it's really hard to do, but you have to put yourself first. And that's what I did that day. I put myself first, and at that point I knew that a weight would be lifted off of my shoulders, because in that moment that I was receiving all of those Slack messages, I just thought, I'm doing this to myself at this point. Like, all of the stress, all of the anxiety, the overwhelmness, I'm doing it to myself at this point, and I need to remove what is causing this. And that was my job. So once I allowed that to just click in my head and I just let go of the fear in that moment, I decided to submit my resignation. What I would do differently. So there's really not much that I would do differently except to listen to my body sooner. My body was telling me over a year ago that I needed to step away from this situation because it was no longer serving me. There were things that I was experiencing, like panic attacks, high blood pressure, things like that I had never in my life experienced. And I knew that it was all work induced. And granted, I was going through some stuff personally as well, but my work induced stress was really the cause of it all. So if I needed to change anything, or if I wanted to change anything differently about this whole situation, it would just be to have done it sooner. But I also don't regret anything, nor do I regret when I did this and when I made this decision, because I'm a firm believer of everything happens for a reason. And honestly, I just felt like God was going to continue to put me through the anxiety and the stress until I actually listened to him. And the day that I did that, it was just my confirmation that I trust him and I'm listening to him. And I mean, even the day after I submitted my resignation, there were some things that I was just experiencing and some things that were happening that were just kind of like a confirmation to me that I made the right decision. And I felt like it was a confirmation from God that he's happy that I finally listened to him. Emphasis on finally. What's next for me? So I have been super happy on my little personal sabbatical, and honestly, I have enjoyed every minute of it. I've spent time traveling, I've been with friends, I've done things that I enjoy like Pilates. I've even invested more time into my YouTube channel. But most of all, I've been resting and just getting myself back on track. As far as career goes, I have been putting more time and effort into my YouTube as well as TikTok. So go follow me over on TikTok as well. I have it linked in the description. And it's just so fulfilling to see all of y'all's comments about, you watching my videos, how it helps, how you've gone through something similar. Every single view that I get on my channel, every single like, every single comment, every single email that I get, it makes me so happy. Like, y'all don't understand. This is truly my passion, and I just love that my videos are getting out to people and y'all are really resonating with my content. And I just love that for us. Outside of content creation, I have been interested in getting like a part-time job, and I do have an announcement coming soon. I think I'm gonna announce it on here, but I do have, something coming up as far as like a job opportunity. So I'm probably gonna share that soon, but I don't know, we'll see. And I'm also kind of interested in doing some sort of like contract type of work. So I'm not gonna say that I don't want to be an RC ever again. Mind you, all of my experience is in HR, so what else outside of content am I gonna do? Like, I don't know. That's just what I think about. But I am interested in like some contract work or like part-time work, something to where I could still live the lifestyle that I'm living now, but also, have some sort of income also coming in. But stay tuned for all of that. So I wanted to go ahead and close out today's video. Thank each and every one of you so much for clicking on this video, supporting my channel, supporting my journey. This is a new chapter for me, and I have no idea what's coming next, but honestly, I have been so happy. So if you're going through something similar, or if you've been through this and you're just on your journey, not sure what's about to happen next, just know that I'm here for you, and I am keeping you in my thoughts, and I hope everything works out for you. And subscribe to my channel, because I do plan on doing some life after corporate content. Do I know what that is right now? No, I don't, but stay tuned so you can find out, and we can find out together. But I do have some really cool collabs coming up, which is so crazy to even say out loud, but super happy on this journey. And I really do have all of y'all who support me to thank for that, because y'all have had an impact on my happiness lately. So I really appreciate you. I know I've said that 50 million times, but I can't say it enough. So like I said earlier in this video, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Make sure that you are subscribed, because I do see in my analytics, y'all are clicking on my video, but you're not staying tuned. So make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see y'all next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bye.